Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 28, Round 5. Yes, Round 5. It's a special race, or races, let's say. Those that listened last week, we do have a double header, and it's a tricky double header at that, with Monaco being the first race with a one-shot quali and 25%, followed by Jeddah, which is a one-shot quali again, followed by a 50% race. So double the points on offer, double the pole point, double the fastest lap point, and then one big fat driver of the day point at the end. And it looks like a nice dry Monaco qualifying. Will it be like in the race? Who sees? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything. I've never done that. And for those, it's a great track, historic track. Not many drivers like actually racing it with that because it's not quick and easy to overtake. But it is steeped in history and glitz and glam, being in Monte Carlo, being one of the old tracks, part of the first F1 Championship in 1950. And we are getting underway. I don't know. I'm for Monaco. Unfortunately, there's not a song called Monaco that I'm aware of. Money, money, money. It's full of money. It's where the rich men go. And here's a one-shot quali, so we're going to jump on a hot lap with somebody. Who's he going to be? Who's going to be the lucky bastard? And we'll stay on with Josh in the Sauber then, as he heads down to Saint Devote, where the exit is climbing up a steep hill, where you're looking at the sky around inside of Massenet, where you hug inside a casino. Otherwise you're going to hit the wall, which Josh just loses a bit of traction as he gets down to Mirabeau. There's a nice little bit of runoff for those that need it. Round turn 6 hairpin, but it feels like an eternity. It's really bumpy, hard to keep control of the car. Round turn 8 of Portier, and as he's making love to the wall through the tunnel, and where you can go flat out, bright flash of light where it's hard to find the braking point. Don't get too greedy around the Nouvelle chicane. There's a chance for a punch or a DNF if you touch the wall. He has invalidated as he went down to the back, through the first chicane, through the second chicane. Very easy to invalidate. Round the penultimate corner, Raskas, where he's struggling to turn in. Avoid cars entering the pit lane round the final exit, where avoiding the bump on the left hand side. As you cross the line, Dan Morris gets pole with a 10-9. Back-to-back poles for Dan Morris, and McLaren looking strong on the front row. And Josh will start P14. And we're just waiting for Magel, who has a quali ban and is going quite slow. I think he might have disqualified himself there. Always a tricky one to commentate one-shot qualies, and because I never know what the game's going to do. But it was nice watching Josh do a hot lap. He's not normally the first out on track and has got its day. But Dan Morris is on pole, with only one into the 110s. Brilliant lap from him, and his teammate joining him on the front row. Caps P3 with Michael Vienne joining him alongside. Capslock and Lennon on row 3 with Chessbowl and Macman on row 4. Benedict and Keys are rounding off the top 10. Magel, Callum, Amadi all starting from the back. Where is Barcelona? The little rat hasn't shown up. I've just realised Katami is invalidated with Keys a Geezer. Anyone that's watching, where is Barcelona? I think everyone's set up, feeling a bit ropey. And it looks like a dry session here, which is good for the drivers. A lot of the time, Monaco's wetter than the front row at Mike Tyson press conference. But we've got sun. And we will be kicking off in a couple of minutes' time while everyone just sorts out there. There is a formation lap, Lennon, yeah. Keep the race formats the same across the season. And I wish everyone the best. It's a very tricky track. And it's a true driver's track with beautiful layout. You can feel like madness when you're in the car. And in comparison to other street circuits, so narrow, the roads are cambered, it's tight and twisty, and every corner is a challenge. Apparently it says you have to do a two-stop. I recommend everyone does a two-stop then. Fuck knows then. Terry's is lying. I'll just let everyone know to do a two-stop. Let's all raid Terry's on his holiday. He's given us false information. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I think there seems to be a bit of discrepancy on what is possible. We know that the game on a 50% makes you do a two-stop. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. If everyone does a one-stop and they do get a penalty, then we'll just get whatever your finish position is. Let's just see what happens. As the game's telling us to do a fucking two-stop. I don't think anyone will be up for that. Let's see what everyone's strategy is. So we've got a mixture of tyres, and Michael, Capslock and Magel all looking to start on the hards. I've got quite a few looking races to do with softs, Cats, Keys, Callum, Catamies and Josh. And everyone else on the mediums, including both the McLaren boys at the front. I don't know why they've got it on position change. I don't think there's going to be that many overtakes. Last year's race in 2024 in real life, there's only 17 overtakes throughout the whole race. Quite difficult to do it on this 3.3 kilometre clockwise circuit, 19 corners, 12 to the right and 7 to the left, with the one DRS zone down the start finish straight. And it's going to be quite critical. See who pit stops more than once. We'll see. It's a 43% chance. It's quite surprising. 43% chance of a safety car and a 29% chance of a VSC. And I think that will make some people's decisions if one does come out. Dan Morris and Jax will be on the front row with Cats, who's had a great start to the season alongside Michael Vienne, who's raced once this season, got himself on the podium. Catslock P5 in the Aston Martin. His teammates missing this week, as well as Lennon's. So Sygate and Zombie both missing. Chespo filling in for Terry's, with both Ferraris on row 4. Benedict's, both Williams on the grid, finally. Benedict's and Magel, 9th and 11th, with Keys Giza in the middle. Callum filling in for Benja in the Mercedes, with Catamies in the lone Red Bull. Where is Barcelona? Josh, 14th, and Amadi from the back. Both Callum and Amadi for their absolute race pace. Starting from the back. Keys is disqualified, so he's going to have a bit of a slow start off the line. And yesterday the lights are really slow, but they're not today. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's lights out and away we go. And it looks like both McLarens have got a good launch of the line. Cats is just bottled as Jack Daniels gets ahead of Dan. Catamies is up 2 places. Callum's dropped to the back, and because he was up a few places. So Jack's managed to get on the outside of Dan Morris. Brilliant overtake. Landon's going to place. Mattman's get ahead of Chesbo. Magel and Catamies and Amadi all gaining places. What a start for Jax Daniels, looking for his first podium of the season. Can he get his first race win of Lights Out League Racing? And it's a really difficult one. He's in a good position. It'll be the drivers that pit before him trying to get an undercut. And everyone seems to have made it through without any damages. Everyone's just screaming out the tunnels. There's a move there for Benedict on the inside. He's gone deep, trying to get past Chessbowl. Lets him past. And does he have damage? Missed his braking point. Tried to make a move. Just couldn't stop in time. He has lost an end plate. And we might see him pit sooner rather than later, as Katz does pit sooner rather than later, and getting off those soft tyres. So interesting for all from Katz. And we've got one or two others pitting as well. Magel's going in and might... he's not... No, he's the wrong car. Keys has gone in, Callum's gone in, and Katami. So... And Callum is double stacked behind Keyser. As Keyser's getting a wing change as well. And Terry's has landed and he's watching. And the front three have broken away. Michael Vienne. And not within DRS range of the McLarens, but in a position for another podium. Caps lock up to P4 as well. So those early pit stops has thrown a complete, absolute carnage into how things are going to play out. There's 20 laps of this race and we're only on lap 2. And I can't catch a breath. I hope you have have a good time for us all, Terrys. You deserve it, mate. Especially after winning last week. It's your prize. You need to bring that form back when you come back. Lennon out to P5 as Jack's now deciding to pit. And making an early pit stop. As Dan Morris sets the provisional fastest lap and takes the lead of the race, which promotes Caps Lock. The Ferraris are up. Surprising move from Jax Daniels. Is he looking to do hards right to the end and try and undercut? As Josh goes through on the softs. Jax, I think, had to pit on the threat of Katz doing the undercut. Katz has gone to the mediums. Is he going to go to the end, though? Be interesting. I know we're trying to give Callum a challenge, but getting the double stacked behind his teammate. And what's happened to Camis, he's going onto the hards and going to the end. So good call from Camis as well. Just stay out of everyone's way and just pump some time in and hopefully gain some time on the pit stop. But it is a double pit stop for him. I one or two concerned that it is a double pit stop and not a single. Interesting. So Dan Morris got almost 3 seconds ahead of Michael Vienne on those hards. And Josh christens the track limits as Benedict and Chessbowl. As Chessbowl's got damage. As Amadi goes through as well. And Amadi going into the pits too. Getting off these mediums sooner rather than later as well. Chessbowl with that damage. Was it with contact with Benedict, who's still going with his damaged wing? That man tucked up behind Lenny with a yellow flag, and it's a Mercedes. It was a Mercedes of was it Mercedes of Callum? I think he lost it at the... Or was it Keyser? One of them. Chessbowl's just coming out the pits now. Will come out just behind Geezer. I think someone just lost it at the Nouvelle. I think it was Callum. I wonder if he just outbroke himself. Very unlike him. This started from the back thing. It's got him right nervous wreck. We got another yellow flag. And it's Benedict. He's smashed it at the Nouvelle and he's been teasing it for a while. It's just a yellow flag in Sector 2. And that's him out. And he's going to have to get himself set now for the race as we watch Josh just skid round, coming out the second flying chicane and dives in the pits off those softs, so they're not lasting long at all. And all these positions changing all the time. Caps like he'll be looking for a podium. I think it might be his first one of the season. Yeah, Benedict, one race down. Unlucky, mate. It's a bit more forgiving at Jeddah. You've got a bit more room to play with. You lasted a couple of laps. You did well. You did well. I think Benja's here supporting Magel. Magel currently running in P9. You should be supporting your teammate as well, Benja. You traitor. Keezer and Callum both 11th and 13th respectively. You are missed today. Oh, Amadi. Who's that known as Cats? Just hitting the back of Jax Daniels, outbraking himself. Yeah, oh, and Keezer. Oh, and Geezer. That's what you should be singing. There's Josh and Magel switching places. Great overtake from Josh. Magel just does not want the same face as his teammates and smashing himself at the Nouvelle. And he won't want Josh to pull away. Josh, great overtake up to P9. We don't see many overtakes, so we've got to take everyone as Amadi takes provisional fastest lap. And we're currently running P8 as Keezer is in the pit now. Oh, Geezer. I'm getting off those soft tyres and we should go onto the hards to the end. Interesting to see how everyone and how this plays out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dan Morris pit soon and jump onto those hard tyres. He's got Michael Vienne who's caught up to him and almost a second behind. And now within that DRS, Michael looking a lot more comfortable on these hard tyres. And Caps Lock closing in as well. The Caps Lock yet to get a podium this season, got quite a few last season. And he'll be eyeing up another. Then Dan does pit and gets onto those hard tyres, so he'll be looking to get out, hopefully ahead of Lennon and Mattman, Mattman's pushing Lennon all the way, both doing another lap. Dan's just coming out and will come out behind as Jax Daniels goes through and has done the undercut on Dan Morris. Katz goes through as well and also has done the undercut on the McLaren driver. And Amadi is going to join the party. Dan with those fresher to 3-lap fresher tyres. Will Amadi have to pit again? Callum's still going on those softs. He's definitely going to be pitting again. Oh, Callum just having a bit of fun today, I reckon. It's really difficult to overtake. Keezer has got Katamise licking his crotch, purring like a dirty bitch. And will Katamise be able to make a move on Keezer as he climbs up towards Massenet? I'm going to have to follow him round. As now with Michael does pit, getting off those hards quite early, actually. Interesting call from Michael, which does promote Caps Lock now to the lead of the race. It's all happening. Leonard currently running P3. And they'll all get past Michael. So Jax, Katz, can Michael get out ahead of Dan Morris? Dan Morris goes through and Dan Morris just gets ahead. So Michael, whoa, that was close. And he's going to struggle now to get past Dan Morris. Dan Morris's tyres will be better near the end of the race, you'd like to think. But Katz coming in with a meow meow motherfucker. Jax is stuck behind. Mattman and Lennon are both in the podium positions. All these front three still need to pit. But what can Jax and Katz do? Can they get past without causing any complications? Katz having a look on the outside of the Nouvelle. Oh, and Jax just gets boxed in. Doesn't look like he's got damage, thankfully. But look at this cluster of cars now. Everyone's just bunched back up again because these cars have not yet pitted. I wouldn't be surprised if Lennon and Mattman pit. We got a yellow flag. It's a Ferrari. It's Chespel in the tunnel. And Josh has cut the corner at the Nouvelle, I think. Lennon and Mattman both pit, which releases Jax Daniels. It's a full safety car. Oh my Christ. Oh my Christ. The collision in the tunnel has caused a safety car. So it gives the opportunity for Matman, Katz, Lennon, Michael, Dan to pit. Josh pits, gets rid of his penalty as well. So a good decision from him. Lennon added damage. You did doing well, mate. Doing well though, mate. You know, going to come out in P6, I think, with the safety car. What's Katz done? With that safety car, it's promoted Amadi up to P3. Capslock still needs to pit. And Capslock could actually pit and come out in P1. This could benefit him. It would actually benefit him and put Capslock in P1. Matman's in P4 currently, and he'll be absolutely thrilled. And he's an absolute unit to try and get past. Capslock goes in the pit, and he's benefiting absolutely from this safety car. Chespel's managed to keep going in as pit and they've gone on some fresher tyres. It looks like everybody's pit. Are we going to see Jackson Amadi pit? They do have a bit of a gap. Jax does not. And Amadi doesn't either, so they're going to be... they should be okay to the end, to be honest. They're on the hard tyres, but the guys behind are going to be looking racy. Did not expect to see a safety car, to be honest, but Capslock is... He can put some lottery numbers on for me. He'll be licking his lips. More than Katz. Meow, meow, motherfucker. He has that 10-second penalty, which he will not be liking the idea of this safety car. Because unless he can pull a gap from the cars behind, he'll be dropping. And it's unfortunate for people like Michael and Dan. Just got caught up in that train and has decided to pit. And has now found himself in P8. Mercedes need a good safety car restart as it's still following round. We'll probably do one more lap and wait for everyone to catch up. So it only took about 8 or 9 laps to get a safety car, which is good for Monaco. It's not everyone's track. I think I'm more likely to hit the wall than not. And somehow Chespo lost it in the tunnel. Maybe he had his ERS on. If you flick your car too hard round turn 9, then there you go, you had a chance of hitting the wall. So Jack Daniels did that early pit stop and was hoping to undercut everybody. But Capslock has completely played the pit stop game and waited as long as possible. And I suspect he was waiting for that safety car, and he capitalised. Amadi out to P3, and he'll be trying to get that P1. He does have a couple this season already at Melbourne and Miami, but we put in we do have provisions in place where he can't be as dominant, the same as Callum, and try and be a bit more of a challenge to him and give opportunities for others to get podiums, which it has happened with both Terry's and Keyser last week getting their first podiums. For Lights Out League Racing, Dan Morris has had 3 consecutive ones if you include... Dan Morris has got a penalty as well. And so did Michael Vienne. Just not concentrating under the safety car, and that's going to knock him down the order as well. Boys, the safety car is in. So Capslock is going to bunch everybody up. Wait for the safety car to go in the pit, so you can't overtake until the timing line. It's all bumping around further down, but when will Capslock go? I think he'll go last minute. get round the final corner and just go. And there he goes. Just call me Mystic Meg. Or if I haven't cleaned my willy, I'm Mystic Meg. As Josh pits. I think he's got damage. And he's going to be well behind the pack now. Everyone has pulled away. So Capslock and Jax have pulled away from Amadi, who got caught off guard. He's over a second behind already. Josh has retired in the pit, so he's had enough for today. Doesn't like having to suffer in Monaco. As Amadi is caught up to Jax, who's just slow behind Capslock, who is on those mediums and should pull away, which he is. Look at him go. Jax just struggling on those older hard tyres. Matman just getting his tyres up to temperature. He's got Katz Lennon for company. Katz, of course, has got that penalty, so we'll want to try and get past Matman. Dan Morris's race has gone from bad to worse with an extra 3 seconds, and followed by Meagle. Meagle, why do you cry, Meagle? Callum up to P9 now. And we'll be looking to try and get past as Katamis and Keys are side by side. Whoa, coming through Raskas and the final corner, and Katamis has got through. Did he barge himself through? Well, there's Keys, we'll see. I'm sure Keys will let us know otherwise. 3 seconds. Amadi is like Jax Daniels' handbag. He's hanging round his arse. Matman in a great P4. He'll be absolutely thrilled to find himself in this position. But can he defend? As Katamis getting past Chespo, coming out of the chicane. Great start from Katamis. Gained 2 places. Amadi sticking with Jax Daniels. Let's just hope Jax doesn't get distracted by the Visa carb. Chespo and Keys are now. Chespo looks like he's hit the wall. Does he have damage? Keys is closing in. His car on ghosts. He's got damage, so Chespo's going to have to go in the pits. And in the pits goes Dan Morris and Michael Vienne. Interesting as Katz gets past Matman coming out of Saint Devot. And Katz has made his move. Meow meow motherfucker. Interesting call by Michael and Dan. Both probably serving the 10 seconds as well. That man is getting Lennon, who's got his wing fixed now. And is all over his rear gearbox. Matt Man will be driving with his elbows out. He'll be like a 3-year-old eating his dinner at Toby Carvery. Amadi still struggling to get past Jax, who's defending well, placing his car well. There's Katamis now. Ooh, did he force his way through? Looked like he went a little bit deep. Don't think Meagle was happy with that. A little bit of shake of his car. And Lennon gets himself a track limits. Oh, Lennon, no! You're in a prime spot here, my guy. And you've just pushed it too hard. That's closing in on this battle for P2. He does have that penalty, of course. Capslock is checked out with 5 laps to go. And he'll be absolutely buzzing. And put him in for good confidence going into the next race. Jax Daniels just eyeing up that podium. Trying to stay ahead of Amadi. And Amadi's, just drifting, coming out of Portier. Will Amadi try and make a move? Just Jax Daniels still too far ahead. A little bit shaky coming out of the Nouvelle. Lennon's gone too deep and he's got a 10-second now as well. Lennon. Buddy. He'll be kicking himself. And now put a little bit less pressure on Matman, who can see Callum in his rear view as well. And what we're getting here now is Jax is the cork in the bottle. And Armady lets Cats go through to battle for that P2. Brilliant team players. Callum gets past Lennon, who probably didn't fight it too hard with his penalties. And Matman will be effing and jeffing at Lennon for not being that barrier between Callum's onslaught. Oh, as Callum just clips the wall, loses back end, managed to keep his car going. That's a bit of relief there for Jax. And I'll tell you what, actually, if I was Armady, I'd hold this pack up and try and get a 10-second gap for Cats to get that podium. He's already put 1.7 seconds. Now, this is what I call team play. If he manages to do it without doing it dangerously, of course. That man, a little bit of shake. Depends if Armady is driving too slow, too dangerously. He'll have to be careful that he's not breaking any rules here, or he will be punished. I don't know if there's enough laps left. As Matman just loses back end coming out of the final corner. We'll have DRS, but not close enough to Armady. Cats now caught up to Jax Daniels. Will anybody be brave to make a move as Armady just teetering about that 2.7, 2.8. So he's trying to hold up, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. So he's probably better just putting his foot down now. Otherwise there may be an accident caused, because we've got a train of cars down to Lennon behind Armady, with Katami's now up to P8. And hunting them down. You can see that he's just caught up to this train as well. Cats pushing his mighty 3.5 seconds gap now. Trying to reduce damage limitations for Cats. Matman will be gritting his teeth, his hands on the wheel, but his car's sliding everywhere. And this is probably opportunity. If he can get a good traction out the final corner, which he does. DRS open. Is he going to make a move now? This is now or never for Matman. He isn't close enough yet. As Armady positions car right in the middle. He's pulled now 4 seconds. We're on lap 18 of 20. All the while everyone's closing in. Michael again is caught up to Chesbowl. And not close enough to overtake the Ferrari yet. Cat's bombing past the tunnel camera. He's hit the wall though. He's gone and lost an end plate. So he needs to try and stick with Jax Daniels. He's trying on the outside of Tabac, but has to slot behind Jax Daniels. He's looking very racy. Does Jax Daniels have damage as well? It doesn't look like it. It's a 6 lap fresher tyres. Does he hit the wall? Doesn't have damage, but he's got Cats for company. He's pushing. We're on the penultimate lap. This train just struggling to get past Armady at the moment. His Cats have just pulled a bit more of a gap now away from Jax Daniels. Got very, very close, and he's lost both end plates, which he's going to struggle to get round these last 2 laps. And he hits the wall again. He's going to have to just slow down, or he's going to end up DNFing. As Callum and Matman round Mirabeau, and Callum's made a move and got himself up to P5. Brilliant overtake from the standing Mercedes driver, and Matman defending for his might. Saw him coming, and there's only so much defending, so much room you can give. And whether he saw that legal or not looked okay to me. And Armady now closing in on Cats. Katz is struggling with that damage, which has released Jax Daniels and given him a bit of fresh air. Capslock starting the final lap. And he's got almost a 10-second gap on the McLaren driver. Katz is going to be absolute cork in the bottle here and need to let Amadi go. He doesn't. He's going to have everyone boxed up behind him, defending for his might. Amadi on the inside. And was there a collision? We got a yellow flag. And it's Michael Vienne who's DNF'd. I've had enough of the current race. We do have one following. Amadino up to P3. He won't catch Jax. We're on the final lap unless Jax hits the wall. And Katz is pushed hard, but he's caused himself plenty of damage doing so, and will promote plenty of the drivers behind up a position. And I predict he'll probably only go all the way down to P8 as we jump on with Capslock, who crosses the line and takes the win at Monaco. Congratulations to the Aston Martin driver. Gets his first podium and his first win for Lights Out Racing, I think, actually. Congratulations to him, with Jax Daniels getting his first podium of the season, P2 for McLaren, and Amadi coming home in P3, starting near the rear. Katz will come home P4, but he's jumped by Callum up to P4, Mattman up to P5, Katami's up to P6. Katz, who will come out P7 ahead of Lennon with his penalties. Magel will come home P9 in the Williams, but will get jumped by Giza. As Giza does take P9, Magel P10. You can appeal it. It depends what it's what you got given it for. You'll have to just send it in. I don't know what you got it for. Was it if it's a collision? And what a race that was. Plenty of action, and all those early pit stops. That safety car, and the safety car has put Mr. Capslock on the top step. If the game give it you for corner cutting, then no, mate, you don't get it removed. Sorry. And Capslock gets the race win. Amadi gets given fastest lap. Game gives him driver of the day. Most overtakes as well, so he was very racy. And Capslock, like I said, gets his first race win for Lights Out League Racing and of the season. Jax Daniels' first podium of the season as well. And Amadi gets P3 and the fastest lap for his efforts. Callum P4 from near the back of the grid, with Mattman getting P5. I think that's his best finish of the season. Katami's P6 coming up from P13. Brilliant race from him, but by the sounds of it, he's caused one or two little bits of damage, so we'll see. Katz P7, Lennon P8, Giza P9, and Magel P10. Chessboy will finish P11, and Dan Morris P12 from pole. Michael, Josh, and Bennett all retiring. So everyone stay with us. Stay in the lobby. As we will be having part 2 of round 5 at Jeddah. We still have everyone in the grid, in the thank God for that. Just check weather, and then if everyone readies up. Everyone wasn't really a fan of Monaco. You've got to do it every so often, guys. We haven't had it on the calendar for a few seasons. And what we did see there was Magel served his quali ban. And what we will do again is another one-shot quali. And this time we head on Oh, shit. Oh, shit, 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 shit. Shit, 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 shit. I put it as short quali. I put it as short quali. Well, I didn't expect to be doing that. I went in autopilot. As everyone will be. So it looks like a dry, and it is in the middle of the desert, so I don't half expect it to be dry. But what we will see is Amadi and Callum probably do a run on the inters. We'll just carry on with short quali. I'll give everyone a bit of chance. So those that didn't do any practice, then they can. Sorry, my mistake, lads. Let's just crack on. It's not like you haven't done a short quali before. And by the sounds of it, Amadi and Callum both doing interpoles. Their tyres will be burning. So we'll be following on from last week's race at Barcelona, where Terry's Reds got his first race win and podium. Well, yeah, I said it was allowed. Like, we had proof from Terry's that you could do a one stop. But then everyone was telling me, I wasn't on the game, so I couldn't tell you what the strategy was telling us. I don't know. Terry's did a one stop and it was fine. Yeah, we're continuing caps anyway, don't worry. And we are on the Williams driver, Benedict, who unfortunately crashed out in Monaco. Let's see if he can keep it. Don't know. I can re-invite you. If you think you have. You're in the pit, so I don't think you've lagged out. And what we will do, instead of lagging out, we'll jump on a hot lap with Mr. Benedict in the Williams, doing the first flying lap of Jeddah, as he does a run down with DRS down to turn 1, where you want to take the curb on the inside. Went a little bit deep to open up the corner and exit of turn 2. Avoid the inside of turn 2, otherwise you'll lose traction as we go to the blind left-hander of turn 4. So as close as possible to the wall. Don't go around the curb turn 5 too much as we go flat out through the left and right as we hit turn 9, which is another blind right-hander. It drifts around that corner, and then turn 10 and 11 is very difficult. Don't rail the curb, and it's very easy to invalidate. As we go to the hairpin of turn 13, which is Fun Bank cambered corner, the inside line has better grip. You want to go back on the outside. Throttle again as we head up to the blind right-hander of turn 16, where you flick it right, flick it left immediately. Around turn 17, stay on the inside, help with rotation, open up to throttle, and we'll flick on the DRS and minimise the distance of the track, stay in the apex of the corners as we hit to another blind corner of turn 22 here. Left-hander, don't go too wide, otherwise you will invalidate and smash yourself into the wall. Another DRS zone where it is just flat out, where we're going to see a few overtakes happen as we go down to the final corner, turn 27, stay far right and then turn in, hug the apex and then open up the throttle on the wide on the exit as we head up to the line, hug that left hand side to minimise the distance again, and Benedict provisional pole 28.6, so good lap from the Williams driver. And before his little break, he was very, very racy. As next up to cross the line is Michael Viengo's P2 with the 29.1, Giza 29.7. As Caps Lock goes up to P3, Mr. Monaco race winner. Katames is next. I was just starting his lap actually, my apologies. As Matman goes up to P5 with the 29.7, 400ths behind Kiza. And Callum has got into pole. I think Armadi's fucked up, he's probably got out of the way of others. Josh in the Sauber goes P6 with a 35. Sam Morris next to cross the line. And he's up to P8, 34.7. As Magel's just starting a lap now as well. Let's keep an eye on who's on a hot lap then. So we'll keep an eye on Katames then, who is on his first flying lap, doing a run out in the mediums to save himself a set of softs for the race. The car ahead of him, so he won't be stuck in that dirty F too long behind Caps Lock, who will get out of his way. Currently running P3, so Benedict on provisional pole with a 28.6, half a second ahead of Michael Vienne. What can Katames do on the mediums? It'd be interesting to see his pace. And he goes in the pit, so he has messed up. Next up will be, I think, Katz then in the Visa RB. And he'll be looking for a good start of the race and being as high up the grid as possible. A little bit slipstream from the Mercedes ahead. Crosses the line, gets himself P2, 29.1. Brilliant lap as Jack Daniels crosses the line and takes provisional pole, 28.2. Looking racy. Next up to Magel as he comes around the final corner. Benja is cheerleader. Watching on with intensity. Me too. Goes up to P8, 133. So Lennon needs another invite. Oh, Lennon, let's hope this isn't the death of you. Get back in, my friend. Jack Daniels on provisional pole. Caps Lock doing another run. He's over 2.5 tenths up, which will get him not up a place yet, but let's see what he can do in this final sector. Be pushing like crazy. Can he get himself up onto the front row or even pole? Goes around the final corner, throttle, foot to the floor. And stays P5, does improve his time with the 29.2. We'll keep an eye on Chessball, who was like an abused child in Monaco. The amount of times he hit the wall. Callum says he normally do 26s for pole. I have a feeling we might get into the 27s and that's it. I think 26s is normally the Callum and Armadi pace. There's Chessbowl just navigating turn 13. Callum has retired. Oh, Chessbowl's hit the wall again. He's hitting the wall that much, he can be a member of the Black Eyed Peas. Drifts out down the exit of turn 22. Still going though. No damage, probably just lost a couple of tenths. As he comes around turn 26, turn 27. Needs a good exit out of the corner. Looks like a good one, very smooth. Where will Chespol end up? Crosses the line. Goes P2 for Chespol and the Ferrari. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Brilliant shown from Chespol. As we keep an eye on Katamies in the Red Bull, who bailed out his first lap. Who just, I think, probably just did a lap on the mediums just to dial in his setup. As he finished sector 1 with a 32.9. Jeddah's one of 6 night races we've had on the calendar. Alongside Singapore, Bahrain, Sakhir, Qatar. And of course Las Vegas. All running at these times because of the locations. In the middle of the desert, it's roasting in the day. Too hot conditions for drivers to race, but also for the cars to actually perform. The tyres will be chewed to bits. As we do have Lennon back in, thankfully, who's on a hot lap. His fastest street circuit on the calendar. Not in time, but in comparison to the distance and the speed the cars are travelling. And Katamies up to P4 in the Red Bull. He'll be happy with that. Keys is on and out lap. Got another Ferrari. So Batman's just started his. I think we've got Benedict who's probably next, I think. Amadi, who's up on his time. But we'll stay with Benedict. Amadi doing his interlaps, trying to beat Callum. What can Benedict do? He crosses the line. P2, back on the front row for Benedict, 28.4. And just 2/10 behind Jax Daniels, who's just on another hot lap. Dan Morris needs to improve his time, which he will do. Gets himself up to P4. Brilliant showing from Dan Morris. He'll be trying to match his pole from Monaco, which is a good feat in itself. What can Mr. Lennon do? Up to P9 for Lennon. He's got a chance to do another lap, 29.2. As Michael Bian's invalidated, so he's not going to improve and need to go again. Capstock now down to P8, who was running, had a good start. And just to clarify, Amadi did beat Callum's time by 3/10. The track's hotter, that's why. It's more dialed in. As will Mattman's dived into the pit, so he's not going to improve. So we'll check on Kiza Giza, who does improve up to P6 with 28.9, just ahead of Katz. What can Josh do? He does not improve his position, stays P13, 135. Katami is now going into the pits. Do we have anyone on a hot lap? Let's have a look. It's got to be Jax Daniels, who's invalidated. He's not going to improve his pole time. Ramadi now goes in, so that's him done. So everyone's just getting back into the pits now to do their final run. I think everyone is pretty much done. I think Capstock's on a lap, so we'll keep an eye on him. He's just over a 10th up, which would get him potentially, he's very tight. It could get him up to P7. Got a yellow flag. I think it's a Mercedes getting out of the way of the Sauber. That comes around the final corner. Michael Vienne on pole, provisional pole with a 28.1, 1/10 ahead of Jax Daniels. What can Capstock do? P6 for Aston Martin, 28.6. So 200ths ahead of Katamies. Very, very tight. From P3 down to P7. And you love to see it. Josh up to P12, getting ahead of Magel. With a 30.2. He's going to be hoping to get, at least try and do another run. And get himself into the 129s. He's ahead. I think it is Lennon, so we'll stay on Mr. Lennon. Yeah. We do believe no one's going to hit a 26. I think if anyone's going to... someone's going to sneak into 27s, and I have a sneaky feeling Jax is going to do it. I think he's going to get his first pole. Yeah, put him good stead for the race. But currently Michael Vienne has it. As Lennon's coming to cross the line, can he improve on his current P10? He does, get himself a P9. Just slots behind Giza. Savage words there from Callan. It's a you problem. Michael Vienne in the pit, and I think that's Michael Vienne done. Don't know how long's left. And I've just done an absolute ripper in my pants. 3 minutes. There is enough time to do another lap, actually, for everybody that hasn't come out yet. Armady coming out on softs. Armady, don't you do it. There'll be uproar. Don't you do it. As Chespo crosses the line. 28.5, so it doesn't improve. Is he doing a warm-up lap? As Cat stays P10. 29.1. As we will stay on the Catamies then and see if he can improve on his position. Capstock needs an invite. Yeah, don't lag out. You're not online, my friend. I'll send you one, but you're gonna have to. Where even are you? Where are you? You weren't even there. Am I blind? Can anyone here see a caps lock? Because I can't. He's not even showing offline. What? I can't see him. Anyone else able to invite caps lock? Has anyone else got him as a friend? That's listening. Catamese up to P2. I'm sorry I missed that Catamese, but trying to find caps lock, get him back in. Benedict has crashed out, pushing hard. Oh, that's a shame, coming around the final corner. Who can we stay with? Who's on one? I don't know what he's done. Has he crashed out Lennon? Oh, Lennon won't be happy. Let's try now. Well, if it's something that we can sort out afterwards, then we will do, but there's only so much you can do. Ah, okay. If you just retired. I'm sure it's one that potentially might go to the stewards, but there's nothing I can really do. It's Dan on his out lap. So next up, Josh is on his out lap. I think Catamies is down, so he's currently on the front row, Catamies, which that'll be a brilliant result for qualifying for Cat. Now let's see what Jax can do. He's one that I'm dubbing to get into the 27s. He's shown some fantastic pace over the last few weeks. As Catamies gets well out of the way. Oh, a little bit of traction would have cost him a bit of time. Jax crosses the line and does not improve and crashes himself out. Damaris was squeezed in. I don't know what that means, but everyone's just jumping in the pits here. Catamies is in the pits. Michael Vienne hits the wall, so he's not going to improve. Is he going to improve? He does improve. He does get it in 20 seconds. Wow, 27.7. The last here is Dan Morris is up over a tenth and a half, which will get him up to P4. He needs to find... Oh, okay. So Dan Morris, we timed it well then. He's timed it well, timed it perfectly. And at the moment, he's last one to set a time. Can he get himself any... Oh, has to lose some traction on the final corner, which would cost him a bit of time. But can he get himself anywhere near pole, anywhere near the front row? I don't know, because the game's just mugged me off. That's Keys getting the 5th place, okay. And I don't know where Dan finished. Dan got P5, okay, brilliant, okay. So Michael then takes pole in half a second on Katamise, who's on the front row. Jax Daniel starting P3 alongside Benedict. Dan Morris will start P5 with Chessball alongside him on row 3. Capstock and Cats on row 4. Keys at P9 has a grid penalty, but there's nothing we can do about it, my mate. And then it will be P10. Matman 11, Josh P12, Meagle 13th, with D and Callum starting from the back. Yeah, Jack's saying he could have got that pole, but he did mess up. I think he did so as well. And it is a dry session, of course. There's potential quali ban coming Benedict's way for his next race. I think he hit Kieser. That's why Kieser got his grid penalty. That's unfortunate for the Mercedes driver, and he'll just have to put his head down and just smash his way through the race itself. We've got this track until 2027 while they build the other track in Qiddiya, which is going to be exciting one nonetheless. It's going to have a really standout climb up to turn 1, which safety car is on eye. It's just whether it comes out. It's not coming as prominent as it used to, and I think it's on standard safety car as well. Like it doesn't, like every little nick on F1 24, every little nick and the safety car came out, but it seems to just yellow flag it most of the time now. We did of course see one in Monaco as expected, and with this track there is 100% chance of a safety car. And 50% chance of a VSC. Well, we'll see. If Kieser was on the racing line when you're doing a hot lap, then maybe it is warranted. But I'm sure we'll see it in the stewards room. I don't know what's happened, so I can't really comment. This game works wonders sometimes. It's a fast sweeping circuit that challenges drivers. It's a very fast circuit, only second to Monza on the calendar, quicker than tracks like Silverstone. It's the fastest street circuit ever to be on the calendar as we look at everyone's strategies, apart from Dan and Chessball going on the hard, so that's going to be interesting off row 3. Everyone else has started on the mediums, and it means everyone is looking to have a good start and try and make up those places. It'll be interesting to see how it works out. Jack's had a good launch off Monaco's line and got himself up to the lead of the race. We know that Katamise is quite racy and Michael is reasonably quick, so it'll be interesting to see how the race unfolds. Could Michael just be a little bit too quick for the guys behind? Can they stay with him? We shall see. They've got a lot of track to try and do so. With it being a 6.1 kilometre clockwise circuit, 27 corners, 16 to the left and 11 to the right, 27 corners being the most on the F1 calendar. There are 3 DRS zones, one down the DRS straight. One coming after turn 17 and one after turn 22. So plenty of overtaking opportunities. Who is Brave Dares. And whoever does that will come out a crapper and finish higher up the grid. What we want to see is some nice, clean overtakes. Choose your overtaking opportunities wisely. Otherwise, it's going to end up dirtier than a Michael Jackson bedtime story. As Michael Bien leads us round the final couple of corners with Katamise joining him on the front row. Great qualifying from Katamise, highest qualifying of the season. And what can he do? Can he get himself a podium? Jack Daniels, P3. He'll be looking to match his podium on Monaco as Dan and Caps Lock coming together by the looks of it. Bendit will start P4. Now he needs to keep it on the track. He was racing a few weeks ago, I can't remember what track it was, very high up and ended up crashing out or making a mistake. But on row 2, Dan and Chespo. Row 3, Catslock and Cats. On row 4, Lennon P9 with Matman P10. Josh and Magel on row 6 with Amadi and Keezer. I'm pretty sure Amadi will probably let Keezer go. And then Callum will be at the back. We'll jump on back with Michael. Where's Michael? Anyone knows Underworld? Great franchise. Kate Beckinsale's an absolute banger. And I'm going off tangent. It's 4 lights, it's 5 lights. I nearly dribbled. And it's lights out, away we go. It's a good launch off the line from Katamise and Michael as Capslock, as Chespo's actually lost a couple of positions, 3 positions now, as Capslock's gained 2. Zach Morris has got his position back. Benedict ahead of Jax Daniels. Great start from the Williams drivers as Jax just slots behind. Cat's on the inside of Dan Morris, who has to slot behind as well. As Mattman's lost the position, and we've got a yellow flag. It's Magel, who's lost a wing round turn 4 and has dropped him to the back and will have to pit. It's going to be a struggle. As Mattman and Amadeus, Callum's now up to P11. There is an extra pit stop for Amadi and Callum as part of their limitations of the race. As Josh just cuts the corner, misses his braking point. Lucky he doesn't get a 10-second for how much he cut it there. As Dan's got Lennon all over him. Keys are getting past Mattman, who's struggling at the start of this race. Does he have wing damage? He's lost an end plate. Potential collision there with Magel or the wall. I don't know, but he's going to be struggling. Will we see him pit as well? And get off these tyres early. Get a wing change. Michael and Katamise still close together as Callum and Chespo. Callum and Amadi both looking racy side by side and trying to work their way up. Chespo's defending the inside of turn 1. Callum on the outside and gets the inside of turn 2. Brilliant overtake from the standing Mercedes, and Amadi follows him through as well like diarrhea. And both now up to P10 and P11 after lap 1. Dan Morris going well in P7, staying with the train ahead. And I say that, he's just gone off. And Lennon goes through. Just holds up Josh, which has got Callum. Should be an easy overtake. Oh, and we've got a collision between the Sauber, the Mercedes, and the McLaren. Oh my God. It's gone absolutely Pete Tong. He's just absolutely clattered as Dan Morris has hit the back. Although, was Dan Morris there? I don't think Dan Morris was involved in that. Something else has happened to Dan. He's lost his end plate. As Amadi goes past Josh as well, had a big hit on the wall. And I think 3 wide. Everyone just pincered. And we will see probably 1 or 2 pit stops now as Chespo making moves on Josh with his damage. Catsme getting past Capslock out of the final corner. And we'll have Caps Lock will have DRS as well, as keys are getting past Josh as well. Jax Daniels on turn 1, side by side. Still side by side coming out of turn 3. Looks like Jax may have made a stick. It's not. It's side by side going to turn 4. Will somebody pull out? Oh, and they both go off the track, which holds up Cats a little bit. Both given plenty of room, both not turning in either. And that's promoted Cats and Caps Lock up a couple of positions. Brave driving from both. No one wanted to give in, and both ended up going off the track. Josh getting track limits and pitting, getting that fresh wing. And the lone Sauber's teammate missing, Picnic. He's not having a picnic, his name's Picnic. 2-second gap here from Michael now and Katamise. Katamise has got a bit of breathing space with Jax behind him. That's Callum and Lennon. It's Callum. Gets past just ahead of turn 22. Brave move from Callum with the aid of DRS as Amadi going past Lennon as well. Chest bowl, will it be easy enough for him too? I think Lennon just not fighting the meat. Chest bowl just tucks behind Lennon. It's a massive train. Mattman and Dan Morris and Keezer. It's going to be three-way going to turn 1. What's going to happen here as they both get past Geezer, and who's going to have this corner? Dan Morris has the inside. Mattman leaves him plenty of room. Just couldn't turn in enough, but they're both still going. As Matt lets Dan Morris through. Just not been able to turn in enough. Dan Morris at P11 now. He's found himself now up to P4. And this is a train now behind Katamise. Katamise made a bit of an error as he's drifting round turn 13. And Jax will want to make mincemeat of that pussy. He's in a cat sandwich. He's going to want to get out of this, or is he's going to be coughing up verbals. As Chespo getting past Lennon, and Callum getting past Benedict with the aid of DRS. As Benedict loses his car, smashes his wing. Loss of traction, it is a safety car. And Benedict was running well, and I did say in the formation that we hope he doesn't lose it himself, and he does. And let's see who jumps into the pits. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an onslaught of people potentially going in. So Michael's staying out, Katamise does go in, followed by Jax Daniels. Cats goes in, Capsock goes in, Callum does go in, Amadi goes in, Chespo, it looks like everyone's going in except Michael. Michael unfortunately will be double stacked here, and will there be anyone else? Amadi will be double stacked behind Cats, which will cost him a few positions. Everyone else will benefit. Those that have gone onto the medium tyres will potentially have to stop again. So that's a Cats, that's a Callum, it's a Chespo, a Dan. Doing 20 odd laps on the mediums, it's going to be tricky, and they're going to be hoping for another potential safety car. Was that a mistake by Michael not to pit? So it is going to be tricky of getting to the end on the hards, but it is possible. And I'd say that Katamise is now in the net lead of the race, which you don't say often. But good showing from Cat, and it shows what good qualifying does. It gets you into that position. And what does play its part as well is track limits, which a lot will try and have to avoid and stay in the right lines. And that 5 of 25 And we do have a safety car. I did say it was 100% chance as well. And it was caused by Benedict this time. And we saw him lose traction out of 22. So the grid resets, keysing out to P12. As we go round again, I think this will be the final lap under the safety car. Cats will be looking to be racy from the restart. Callum has actually been jumped by Armadi, who I thought would have been held up from Cats in his pit box. And then in P8. One of the drivers having early moments. Easy to do on this type of circuit. It does have its run-off areas. And but the slightest clip of the wall can be unforgiving. And the safety car brings us round turn 13. So we'll have a look on board. And you can see how it's just slightly banked. The best line is on the inside. Everyone's just trying to get some heat into the tyres. Michael Vienne still leading the race, but still needs to pit. And could that, not pitting under that safety car, hamper his chances for the race win? Now he's going to be hoping for another safety car, but it's not guaranteed at all, and we should see it coming in any minute now. Any minute now. There we go, a bit later than normal. And Michael now will be the one that leads us away. And he will be waiting for the safety car to go in. And he won't want to go too early. There's quite a long straight to defend from. And he does go. Catamese loses traction. And he'll be under threat immediately from Jax Daniels. Brilliant start from Michael Vienne. Caught the cat nap. As Cat's right on the gearbox of Jax. The Mercedes of Keys is having a look behind. And we've got, I think it's just the yellow flag staying out from the safety car, because the game just isn't smooth sometimes in this sort of mechanics. And everyone looks like they made it through. Cats sticking with Jax. Amadi looking racy as Jax goes off the track. Benedict getting past us. Keys has actually lost traction coming out of turn 11. Lennon and Chespo side by side, just clipping each other. Chespo staying ahead. And Lennon did well to keep it out of the wall and keep his car running. His arcade fire. Keep the car running. And Amadi side by side with Caps Lock, and Amadi pulls out at turn 22. It would have ended in tears otherwise. Caps Lock holding strong, but he's under threat now from Amadi, who looks like he's got better straight line speed. Goes on the outside of 26, 27. Caps Lock defending the inside. There's no DRS until the next lap. As Caps Lock defends, Amadi expected to switch back and gets to lose some carbon fibre for his woes. Caps Lock looking to make an overtake now on Amadi, who's got a slower launch. Caps Lock defending. Callum at turn 1. And Callum made his move stick on Amadi, who just did not expect Caps Lock to defend. And Caps Lock defended well. Michael hasn't pulled away as he first did. Everyone else on fresher tyres. Michael on those slightly used mediums that will wear quicker than he wants. Cat's just looking very, very pouncy. That's a real word, I guarantee it. Callum on those mediums. Well, yeah, to be fair, he's probably gone on mediums because he knows that him and Amadi have to pit again. So both just trying to work their way up the grid as much as possible and gain as much time. The more they're stuck behind. As this Katami's making a move on Michael Vienne, who's defending very well. Katami's not making a move, just pushing. It's Constantina's arm 22 as Katami's got caught too quick behind Michael Vienne, and this will open the door for Jax Daniels to make the move on Katami's, as we see Callum on Capsock as well. As Katami's defends the inside, makes a move on the inside of Michael Vienne. It's all bunched up now for the lead of this race. Who's going to be at the front of turn one? It looks like it's going to be Katami side by side with Michael Vienne. And Jax Daniels on the other side. Katami's defends turn one. Jax Daniels is up as well. Kat's is trying to make a Michael Vienne as well, who's just a sitting duck without the DRS. And look at this race to the front. Michael Vienne's lost 3 places. Capsock, who's lost to Callum and Amadi, who's been squeezed out as well. And is that Chespo? Chespo span round turn 4. Kept on going, so it's not a safety car. The Ferrari driver now just ahead, just behind his teammate, sorry. It got very congested. It's getting congested again as Michael is under threat from Callum on the outside. Callum's got nowhere to go with Katz ahead of him. And Michael losing traction as well. So it left Callum free to go where he wants to. And Michael and Amadi behind going, I want you for dinner. Michael Vienne struggling on these tyres, going offline as well. And just dropping like a sack of spuds. Now down to P6. Callum making move with the DRS. Now up to P3 ahead of Katz. Katami's leading the race. And he can't defend this DRS. Josh getting track limits. Jax Daniels with the DRS going to make a move to try and overtake Katami's, who's defending as much as he can. Defends the final corner. But he would have used a lot of VRS and loses traction out the final corner. Capsock ahead of Lennon. Up to P7. But Lennon looks like he's got the position. But what's going to happen with Katamis? He's trying to defend, but Jax Daniels goes on the inside. Katamis can't do anything. Swings it round like a stripper taking off her bra. And Jackson, Callum, lock wheels. Amadi gets ahead of Callum. And gives a bit of breathing space for Katamis. Katamis went into the turn one with plenty of pace. Left plenty of room for Jax. And it's a yellow flag. Is that Matman? Matman's lost it coming out of turn 4. And has lost his wing as well for his woes. As Jax now makes a move on Katamis to turn 13. And it's been coming. Katamis can only defend so much, and now he's got to defend from Amadi. And saying that, Jax is going to have to defend from Katamis as Kat cuts the corner. Katamis, that is. Lennon gets himself a track limits. Lennon needs to work on that. He's picking them one too many. Katamis. There's nothing he could do there from Jax Daniels. Can he defend or will he screen past? We've got a yellow flag and that's Josh out. Josh has lost it coming out of turn 22, the same place as Benedict. And it's another safety car. Will we see anybody pit? Michael Vienne definitely probably will be pitting. Will we see Amadi and Callum go in as well? Will we see Jax Daniels go in? He has to slow down. Is he going to go in or is he going to fake it? He's going in. So everyone is going in, which will we see Katz now will double stack. Lennon does not pit. Lennon is staying out on the hards. So Lennon takes the lead of the race. And he's going to be shitting bricks. And that's Josh out. Unlucky Josh. Chessbowl's disqualified. What's he done? What have you done? What have you done? You're a very naughty boy. Lennon on those 6-lap old hards. Looking to be as near the front as possible. Is he expecting another safety car and looking to gain positions? Cats did lose a couple. It's down to P7 now. Jack's ahead of Katami's now P2. Katami's now on the mediums. Can he get to the end on the mediums? I think it's going to be difficult. I think he's going to struggle near the end on the mediums, doing 15 laps. Amadi and Callum now up to P4, P5. Interesting to see what they will do for the rest of the race. Will they pit? It depends how much the track is bunched up. Or will they stay where they are and try and take the race wins? Callum goes deep, almost hitting Amadi. Michael again now P6. Thankfully, and be able to pit. Will he try and work his way back up the order? Oh, excuse me, I need a drink. The excitement is getting to me. I cannot do it, Captain. Oh, lubrication. Oh, my mouth was drier than Gandhi's flip-flop. Oh my god. Cap's looking P8. Looking near the front for a while. Let's see what he can do. And Dan Morris as well. Just quietly taking the race as it comes. Out to P9 after that earlier incident, which knocked him back down to P13, I think it was, P14. Benedict will be kicking himself after his spin. And he'll be showing some great pacing, qualifying. Can he be dubbed the new Mr. Saturday, with Terry's now christening himself with a podium and a win? He's a P11. Eking as much out of the car as possible. Don't think he's enjoying this week with the double street tracks. And I'll feel more at home next week at Brazil. I've seen him get pole positions on Interlagos, so great expectations from him next week. But let's see if he maximise the points for his team. Eagle in the Williams. Both Williams still running. Get some valuable points for my representatives. Williams in the league that I race in. So I do have a soft spot for them for this season. And then Matt Mann at the rear. He's had a really difficult start to the race. He's had more wings than a mosquito. And it's going to be interesting as the safety car comes in. Lennon will lead us away. And how long can he stay ahead with the threat behind him? What strategy will he play here? Will he go, or will he just hold that pack up to the last minute? I'll probably say to the last minute if I was him. Oh, he's gone. He's gone quicker than I thought he would. And just trying to break that slipstream, but Jack Daniels has got a better tyre. Will he be there at turn 1? Not yet. We'll have to follow suit round. As Benedict has lost it going round turn 1. Locking wheels. Not any damage by the looks of it, so can carry on going, and while the cars ahead are battling, we'll close that gap. Lennon's ahead for now. Jack Daniels will be one to try and get past him as quick as possible and have that buffer between him and Katamis and the two quick boys behind. We're on lap 13 of 25, so we're halfway through. Jax goes wide round 13. Katamis taking the preferred inside line and is right at the back of Jack Daniels now. Katamis will probably want the same as Jack Daniels and want to get past Jax to have that buffer between him And Callum and Amadi behind. Katames, we know, is fast on the straight line. He's having a look on the inside of 22. Is he going to make a move? Jax leaves in space, goes wide as Katames makes that move, daring move, and Jax, as Callum actually hits the wall. But Jax leaving him space, probably absolutely shit himself. And Katames, fair play. It was brave, and both drivers left each other plenty of space as Magel loses traction, loses position. Jax has lost a couple. Is Amadi getting ahead with a side by side by Katames. Katames turns on the inside of turn 1. Amadi having a look at the switchback. It's not quite there as Magel and Matman coming round turns 1 and 2. But Matman's made the move, P11. And Amadi has made the move on Katames going to turn 4. And now it's P2. And what's happened to Jax here? He's gone wide again. Coming round turn 10. Did he lose traction? And he's lost 3 positions down to P8. And just hasn't managed to switch his tyres on just yet. As Callum getting past Katames. Now down to P4. We've got a yellow flag again. And it's Benedict's lost traction coming round 13. Struggling to find the bite. Just can't manage to carry on going. Lennon's still ahead, but how long can he hold up Amadi and Callum behind him? Both just screaming past. Amadi first, Callum follows, and Lennon just slots behind. They're side by side going through the final corner. Well, that's 14 of 25. It'd be interesting to see if these guys continue or not, as Callum now takes the lead of the race. Dan Morris getting the current provisional fastest lap though. As Lennon's still running P3. Katames defending well from Michael Vienne. We've got a train all the way down to Matman from P1. This is anyone's race, and it depends if anything happens ahead. Someone can take advantage. Someone trying to take advantage here is Michael and Katames, who's just struggling to stay with the front 3. Katames defending turn 13. Callum broke away from Amadi now. 1.5 second gap. And same for Amadi on Lennon, who's currently running P3. And probably looking behind him more than ahead. My dog fucking hates me. As Michael and Katames side by side, but Katames is still staying ahead. And Michael slots behind for now. Knows if he's listening now and or probably seeing, knows that Katames won't give up turn 22 as Katames defending the inside racing line. As the run down to 27, Michael just slotting in his slipstream. Dan's getting past Katz. Can Jax Daniels follow as well as Katz is plugged on the inside? Leaves plenty of room for both McLarens. Katz staying ahead for now as Callum takes that fastest lap as Katz jumps into the pit, getting off those hard tyres. Interesting call from Katz as he got damage. As Michael and Katames having to succumb to Michael Vienne. Lennon's still running in P3. What's going on with Katz? Why has he put inters on? Does he know something we don't? I don't see no rain. Is there rain? There's no rain. It's a mistake, surely. It's a mistake, surely. We're in the desert. When is storm we're going to get? It's a sandstorm. Callum 1.2 seconds ahead. Both now 3 seconds ahead of Lennon. Michael Vienne's got a track limits penalty as well. There's a track limits, yes. So looking potentially good. Katames and Jackson, Dan Morris, who's right on the gearbox of his teammates. If Dan's looking very racy, well, actually Jax has gone through. I think Jax was behind Dan and he's gone through, so Jax is actually, the McLarens have switched places, so I was going to say he's switching round Yeah, Jax has gone through. So Cat's here losing some big points. He'll be kicking himself. Why he put some enters on? As Amedee's caught up to Amedee's caught up to Callum now. These two pulling ahead as Michael on the inside of turn one. Lennon trying to defend as much as possible. As Jax and Katamise battling as well. Jax is now ahead of Katamise. And Dan Morris will want to go through as well. As actually Katamise has got back ahead of Jax. Was that good drive from Cats, or did Jax let him back through? Either way, we're back in racing. Bit of breathing space again for Lennon. But for how long on those older hard tyres? Cats going back into the pits. Have to change his tyres again. Geezer hunting down Matman, who's found himself now into the top 10 into P9. It still might be a little bit tricky, the guys on the mediums, to survive to the end. It will make it very interesting. Geezer not as close enough yet to make a move, but we do have Jackson and Katami side by side again. As we head down to the final corner, it's a tricky place to avoid. It's a wide bit, but with the bend round a couple of corners, the little kinks. Oh, as Jax loses his traction, and that will open the door for Katamise as Amedee takes the lead of the race again and gets a past Callum. Now 5.5 seconds. And Jax keeps P5 for now. He's under threat from Dan Morris behind him. Won't be able to make the move on Jax this time. And we've got Dan and Caps Lock waiting with intent. Both Williams drivers both having struggles as Dan and Katamise side by side going out turn 11. And Dan Morris has got himself ahead of the Red Bull driver. And Caps Lock goes through as well, so Katamise is having a bad exit and has lost a couple of positions in the space of a couple of corners and now down to P8. And McLaren's going strong now up to P5 and 6. That's a 5-second gap too. The cars behind Callum and Amedee battling hard with each other. Now Callum takes the lead of the race again. Michael just settling himself in P3. Potentially lost out initially on positions because of the first safety car. And Lennon now has to look behind him again because Jax Daniels is closing in. Doesn't have the DRS as yet, but he has dropped his teammate, who's left him under threat from Caps Lock and Katamise and Matman, who's closed in on this battle for P6 and almost loses his back end for his troubles, but he's probably in a good contention here with the medium running struggling. It's going to be struggling near the end of the race. We've got 6 laps left to go, not including this one. And should be looking very, very racy as the race unfolds. Jax within DRS range of Lennon. And Lennon's doing very well in P4. Again, be kicking himself because of the track limits and how will his tyres fare. 14 laps already and he's got to do another 6. Jax having the DRS. Is he close enough to make a move? At 22, is he going to be brave like Katamise was with him? No, he's biding his time. Biding his time. We'll have DRS another 2 times before turn 1. As Lennon's defending very, very well. I think this will be the moment Jax will be waiting for. Lennon just struggling off the exit. This should be an easy move for Jax with the aid of DRS. Lennon defending the inside, but Jax swoops on the outside. and gets himself up to P4. Matman taking a quick look at Katamise. His nemesis from Silverstone, reverse. Find each other on track again. Let's just hope it doesn't end up the same way. As Jax gets himself a track limits and caps lock 2. They're going to be popping off now, and the ones that will benefit are the ones that don't have one. Callum and Amadi just way at the front now. Another one there for Magel. They've probably got 10, 11. I think they could pit again and then end out in the middle of the pack and just work their way through again on some softs. As we watch Amadi just clip the wall, that would have cost him a couple of tenths. As Callum's been let loose. Daniel's 5 seconds behind Michael. And that track limits penalty would not help his cause for a current podium position. Dan Morris looking good without his track limits. Katamise and Matman as well, keeping it clean. They will benefit at the end, and look at that, 6 cars in the space of about 400 metres. As everyone's just settling for now and just managing their tyres on that 21 and 25. Big race week this week, a double race, and me accidentally did put short qualifying on instead of one shot. So it's a long, almost 2 hours for these guys to have concentration to make it through 2 tricky street circuits. 1.5 seconds between the front 2, 7.5 ahead of Michael, who's a further almost 6 seconds ahead of Jax. Will we see any of these front 2 pits or not? I don't know. Will we see anyone make an overtake? Dan Morris is over the back of Lennon now. Lennon's trying to defend as much as he can, as Dan right on his gearbox, doing him doggy style. And there should be an easy overtake for the second McLaren to go through, and does exactly the same move as Jax Daniels. They're still side by side at turn 1. Plenty of room left by both, but Dan's made the move stick. Leonard trying to switch back. Will he have enough traction off the corner? He does not. And Dan Morris now up to P5, brilliant overtake from the McLaren. And he's a further 2 seconds behind his teammate. But how will these medium tyres last? That is the interesting part, as Matman right behind Katamise, who struggled a few laps ago. Will he struggle now with the Ferrari homing in on him? As Katz goes up to P12 with Benedict in the pits. And it's just had a difficult week. He's been missing a couple. Needs to find his rhythm again as he gets a new wing on and some soft tyres. Can he get himself a fastest lap, do you say? That would be cool. There's Callum and D coming around the final corner. A second between them. Matman makes a move on Katamise as Matman goes deep. Pulls out of the move. We're trying to avoid Katamise at turn 22, where we've seen Katamise has been very, very brave. And Katamise retains P8 for now. Still a couple of laps left to go from Matman to try and get past the Red Bull driver. He's in that slipstream, and I think these mediums will be struggling in the next lap or so. I don't know actually. No, they should be okay. They should be okay. We had a couple under the safety car as well, didn't we? They should be okay. They'll be getting near the end, but they should be okay. Half a second between these two. I think they're probably going to stay out now. As Capslock gets himself past Lennon up to P6. On the run down to 13. Aston Martin driver making the most of it. Of his medium tyres. And this is for track position. They both have penalties. Starting their penultimate lap. Will we see them pit? We do not. So they both go into the end. Unless they pit at the end of this lap. And currently Callum has the advantage. Lennon's staying with Capslock. He's not giving up this position. His 18 lap old hard tyres. As Matman is right on the gearbox of Katamis now. He's got to make the move. Katamis defending. Late defence from Katamis as he touched wheels. And Matman trying to do the switchback. Looks like he's made that one stick and he's up to P8. Almost sort of cat splat into the wall. Matman locking up, coming out of turn 4. Katamis does well to avoid Matman's car, who does well to keep it. Matman's lost an end plate. Has got himself up to P8. And is closing the gap now on Lennon and Capslock. Lennon's struggling on these tyres. And Callum's pulled 2 seconds RD. He's pulled. It's just gone RKO out of nowhere. As he comes round the final corner for the penultimate time. Almadi out of that DRS, so if anyone's going to get it, it will be Callum, unless he messes up through the race. Michael VM just plugging in some laps. Jackson is further 8.3 seconds behind, with his teammate within jumping distance of the penalty. And Capslock closing in as well, but he does have his penalty. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's Benedict again. He's not having a good week at all. Has damaged his wing again on this soft, so it's expecting a fastest lap from you, my friend. That's a dismal run in the second RB. Currently running P12, put on the inters for some reason. And his fellow Cat stuck behind Matman on the final lap. Katamis will try and make a move. But I know Matman's probably saved up his ERS as much as possible. His Armadi is actually caught up to Callum, and we're looking to do a race to the line. It's another yellow flag, and it's the Mercedes of Giza coming out of turn 11. And Giza's retired. It's a run to the line, and Callum will take the race win with Armadi P2. It's unfortunate for Giza. Lost his traction, and Michael VM will take home another podium, P3. Jack Daniels will cross the line and come home P4, but will get jumped by Dan Morris, who will take that P4. He'll be happy with that from where he was earlier in the race. Capslock P6 with Matman. Katamis a race to the line, but Matman will take it. Katamis will come home P8, just 500ths behind Matman. So Mega will take P9. Good show from the Williams driver. Just kept his head down. I think that might be his best race finish of the season. And has consolidated P10 for Cats. What's happened with Lennon? Oh, Lennon's got a puncture. Oh, Lennon's got a puncture. He stayed on his tyres. And, yes, very sweaty. Not just your perspiration. It's unfortunate Lennon tried to stay on the tyres as much as possible, but we can safely say you can't do 20 laps on the hards at Saudi. And comes home P11. And Benedict will come home for the last finishing position. 80% tyres. That's close. You two could have been under the same thing as Lennon. And the standing Mercedes driver takes the race win at Saudi and gets every accreditation. Very, very sweaty. You're doing well though. I'm surprised it lasted that long, but you did very, very well. Callum takes the race win from 15 and gets fastest lap as well, the 1:30.8. And Amadi takes P2. Michael getting P3 from pole, so if those two weren't there, he'll get the real P1. Dan Morris coming home P4, getting ahead of his teammate, who gets P5. Capstock P6, and Matman getting P7 from P10. Good showing from him. Katami's P8, Magel P9, and Katz round off the top 10. For some reason, putting on the inters in the desert. Lennon P11, his tyre just exploded almost as much as my knob when commentating. And then Benedict coming home in P12. Kieser losing traction out of turn 11 and DNFing alongside Josh. And that is it for that double header. Back to normality next week. Yes, okay, Dan, we don't worry, we're sorting it. We're trying it. I think the safety cars didn't help the strategy for the extra pit stop. So have to figure out what to do when that happens. Can't figure out every eventuality, unfortunately. But it's a discussion point. Turn them off. No, because it doesn't throw up spanners in the works like Monaco did. Yes. Yeah, maybe don't pit stop under the safety car. It's a good idea. Will help. Well, that was the idea. They pit an extra lap, and but under safety car, it's difficult to see what's too much of a disadvantage. Obviously, we want to give them a disadvantage, but not too much. But maybe the case is they don't pit under the safety car, and when they have to pit again, maybe. But maybe like Callum says, that they don't pit under the safety car, because if they don't pit, their tyres will wear off, or they have to pit again anyway. So maybe that's the case. I'll have a chat with Callum, because he can figure out a lot of the kind of eventualities and things from what happens. But no, good racing for everybody. Very tricky week, and be interesting to see people's views from this week. And we go on to next week, which is race 6, and as I mentioned, we are back at Interlagos, a driver favourite, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. And my name is Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out. Thank you, everybody.